Hello everyone, this is Puka and welcome to another episode of Fake Archetype Friday. Hope you're excited for this week's mashup of, we take a popular archetype that makes sense, that works, that's very competitive, successful, and then we completely turn it upside down and use alternate versions of the Pokemon, and all of a sudden the deck makes absolutely no sense, and, well, it turns out to be a mess. For this week's episode of Fake Archetype Friday, we're going to use the classic Garchomp Altaria, a deck that has perfect synergy, probably just a deck that makes the most sense out of all of them. But not when you replace the Garchomp and the Altaria. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and use Jet Headbutt Garchomp! Alright. For 1, Colors does 40 damage. For 3 energy, Sand Tomb, 80 damage, and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. So this is noticeably worse than the regular Garchomp that does 60 damage for 1, and 100 damage for 2 energy. This one doesn't seem quite as good. But that's the fun of Fake Archetype Friday. Now, I will be running the good version of Gabite, because I could not stomach to play this without at least being able to search out my horrible Garchomp. So we'll be running these still to set up my Pokemon. But for the Altaria, instead of the Fight Song one, which adds damage to our attacks, we're going to use the one that has Speed Dive for 20, 2 Energy 20, and an Evolution, and then 3 Energy Cleave 40, and then flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, discard all energy attached to the defending Pokemon. So much like the Fight Song Altaria, we will never be attacking with this card. In fact, it's just going to sit there on our bench the entire game and do nothing. But hey, it's part of the deck, right? Then we also have a Mr. Mime to really prolong the painful death that I'm sure this deck will experience, because this is going to be painful for sure. And we wouldn't want it to end quickly. We don't want our opponent to be able to hit the bench. We want this to be slow and painful as we get destroyed. Okay, the trainers are pretty straightforward, nothing too special about them. The only twists here are play 1 Iris, since I figure I'll probably need a boost of damage at some point. I should probably play 4 of these, honestly. But we only have 1 to boost the pitiful damage of Jet Headbutt and Sand Tomb. And then we also have some Silver Bangle. Does 30 damage extra to Pokemon EXs. And then we have EXP Share because Sand Tomb takes 3 energy, so we need to keep a bunch of them in play. Okay, so that is the deck. I did torture myself and play a game with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened in that game. Let me tell you, I only played 1 game. And then this deck got deleted. But, alright, let's go ahead and check out this game against Savle95. If I'm seeing that correctly. And, oh boy. Looks like this is going to be a tool drop deck, so at least this one will actually be somewhat quick and have me losing. Now we see the Sigilyph gets a double colorless energy right away. Uh-oh. So we could see a turn 2 Cutting Wind, and that's going to knock out any basic in my deck. The most a basic has is 70 on Mr. Mime, and Sigilyph does 70, so you do the math. Okay. So here, this hand looks a little better. We'll put down the Swablu, Skyla here for either a Tropical Beach or a Level Ball. One or the other. I think I'm going to go Tropical Beach here, because if I go Skyla for Level Ball, I'll probably have to Dowsing Machine for a supporter, and I don't want to do that. I think in order to give myself a fighting chance against a tool drop deck, I need Tool Scrapper and then Dowsing Machine for Tool Scrapper. That is the only way I'm going to come close to winning. And I'm probably still not going to come close. Oh, God. Now there's a Rocky Helmet and a Rock Guard on a Sigilyph. So nothing in my deck can actually do 90 damage. So I have to attack that twice to knock it out. Which means Rock Guard and Rocky Helmet will actually knock me out before I knock out a Sigilyph. Beautiful. Or it'll be at the same time. Alright, just to give you an idea of the deck I'm working with here. So we will get a level ball here for, or actually, no, a dragon call here for a Gible. And then we'll go ahead and attach to a benched Gible. And we're just going to play a patient game here because we need time to attach lots of energy to actually attack. So we'll go ahead and Super Rod just to draw an extra card there. And then draw 3 off of the Tropical Beach. Okay. So one of the benefits this Garchomp has is it does have a 0 retreat cost. So the other one does have to pay 1 to retreat, but we can just evolve and retreat freely. So the idea here is I'm going to take a hit from the Sigilyph that now gets 2 Eviolites, which means I cannot even knock it out in 2 hits. But we're going to take a hit and then evolve into Garchomp, and then evolve into Gabite, and then kind of retreat and play this switching out game until I get enough energy to attack. It's going to be a bad strategy, but when your cards are this bad, I mean, what else can you do? So we're going to play a lot of level balls this turn. We got 3 of them. And let's see. Go ahead for another Gabite. And then that can search us for another Dragon Pokemon. We can evolve the active into Garchomp. We already used Dragon Call with that one. So we'll level ball for a couple Swablu here, since you cannot Dragon Call for colorless Pokemon. I really wish they would have made a Dragon Swablu, but I understand it's not the right type. You know, it's a normal type in the game, alright. But for the TCG's sake, I really wish they would have just made a Dragon Swablu. But anyway. Now I have to retreat. And let's see. I guess we retreat to the Gabite that has no energy on it. You know, we'll do the same thing. Take a hit. And then evolve and retreat. Maybe we can start to use Sand Tomb on the following turn. We'll go ahead and get another Gible, put down a EXP share on it, and then Tropical Beach for a whopping 1 card. So this is about as good of a start as I could hope for with this deck. This is like the ceiling for how well we could be doing. You know, we got a bunch of evolutions into play. I'm happy. But how many prizes can we actually take? Boy, I don't know. This is going to be tough to take any prizes. If I can get past, like, 3 prizes, I'm going to say that's a victory in my book. That would just be impressive, I think. So, let's see. There's a lot of tools out there, and all of them are bad for me. So we have the Rock Guard, the Rocky Helmet, I can deal with that. The double Eviolite, I can't deal with that. The EXP shares, that's going to allow my opponent to keep attacking. So, all of these tools are just absolutely killer right now. And I'm trying to figure out what to do about it. So we are going to evolve into Garchomp, get the free retreat once again, and try to figure out what the heck to do here. This is actually really difficult. I'm not really sure where to go with this. I think I need to sit back another turn and try to build more energy into play. Give myself a shot that way. But every turn I give my opponent is just more tools and more energy that can come down on that side too. So, things not looking great. We'll just say that. I do have a Skyla here. I'm probably going to have to play it because I can't even draw extra cards. I'm just trying to figure out what to go for. Tool Scrapper seems like that's what makes the most sense, but I mean, which tools do I even get rid of at this point? Usually against a tool drop deck, you like to wait and then you play a Tool Scrapper and discard their EXP shares and then take a knockout. That way they don't get to keep the energy with the EXP shares. But when there's 2 Eviolites and a Rock Guard that I have to also deal with, I kind of need to deal with one of them. So I think my first instinct is to get rid of both EXP shares, since that's usually the key to beating Tool Drop. Just get rid of those, and, you know, they don't keep their energy, and, you know, you're good. But I don't think I can win if there's Eviolites on the field either. So I actually need to get rid of those first. I think that makes the most sense. So we're going to retreat into the Swablu and Tropical Beach. Oh, no. I actually made a big mistake there. I should have used Dragon Call for an Altaria first. I believe the Altaria actually has 80 HP, so it could have survived a Cutting Wind. So yeah, that was actually a silly mistake on my part. I definitely should have Dragon Called for an Altaria. Whoops. So we're going to lose a prize there because I'm stupid. But somehow I feel like it won't end up mattering too much. So this turn we can Dragon Call. And hey, look, it does have 80 HP. Oops. Yeah. We can go for the Altaria this turn. And maybe we can stall for a turn this way. I can't attack into that Rock Guard. Oh, this is pitiful. We are going to send up Altaria, though. And then we can attach somewhere. We can put another one onto that Gible. At some point, that's going to have to turn into a Garchomp. But, alright. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. This is pretty sad. Alright, so we get another Sigilyph coming down. A couple Trubbish are powered up already. There's a DCE on that Sigilyph. And I'm going to get hit by another Cutting Wind. This Sigilyph with tools alone are going to beat me. Alright, so we're going to attach to the Gabite, and, you know, I might escape rope here. Seems like a good thing to do. Force my opponent to set out a Pokemon that does not have a Rock Guard on it, and then we can actually Sand Tomb, and, well, it'll depend on what comes out, but if like a Sigilyph comes out, we can Sand Tomb and lock it in place. It can't retreat. If it's a Trubbish, I'll just take a knockout. If it's Masquerain, I'll gladly knock that out, because that's actually a big key to the Tool Drop deck. If you can stop them from moving their tools around, that's pretty big. So here's an Escape Rope, and we'll see when my opponent decides to send out. Now, I purposely didn't evolve that Gabite, just to give some illusion here that I might be running the other Garchomp. So that might deter my opponent from, you know, sending out the Sigilyph with 4 tools. And just favor the one with the 1 tool. Because I would not be able to knock out the one with 4 tools. Then it just, you know, my opponent just picks up all the tools with Masquerain. And then, yeah. We're going to Colress here for 10. And get junk. And then we have to Dragon Call. Unfortunately, my 4th Gabite is prized. So we're going to need to draw well to get a Rare Candy and Garchomp on that last Gible over there. But we will be able to retreat into Garchomp and Sand Tomb for 80. We pulled off the monster attack. 80 damage, baby. Alright. What's next? Probably losing. Let's see. So what can we do from here? Now we have locked this Sigilyph into place. That is a positive of this situation. So we'll actually be able to take a prize this game. Believe it or not, we're going to take one. But the Rocky Helmet does go on. The Rock Guard also goes on. And then we see a Giant Cape. I don't like seeing that. We see a Skyla. Not sure what that's going to go for. Could be anything. A switch here would be a real bummer. An escape rope would be a bummer. Any switching card, really. But no, just a tropical beach. Okay. Alright. So let's see here. We do have a dowsing machine. I was lucky to draw that, actually. We can discard an Altaria and the Silver Bangle and get back our Tool Scrapper. This is what we needed to do. Now, I definitely need to get rid of Rock Guard, because I don't want to take 60. And then we'll get rid of something else. I'm thinking I need to knock out Trubbish in one hit. So let's get rid of Giant Cape, too. Those seem like the most important tools here. The ones that prevent me from knocking out a Trubbish in one hit. So we got rid of 2 Eviolite already and a Giant Cape. And then we're going to end. We can actually retreat to the already damaged Garchomp just for 1 energy and Jet Headbutt. And take our first prize. Here we go. Jet Headbutt. Take that. Okay. I had to get rid of the Rock Guard because otherwise I would have just knocked myself out. Headbutting a Rock Guard and a Rocky Helmet. That makes sense. That would probably knock you out. Double rocks. You headbutt 2 layers of rocks. Yes. I think you'll be knocked out by that. Just a Rocky Helmet, though. We can take that. Oh, man. An Eviolite comes out. This is not looking good. Well, we got 1 prize. The goal was to take 3. So that's still going to be my goal. Let's see if we can pull it off. We see the knockout on Garchomp with the Cutting Wind. So another energy goes on to the Gible back there. But we can do the same Sand Tomb trick again. That'll work. And we can play another N here. Hopefully we can get Rare Candy Garchomp sometime soon. Got the Iris, but we got it with some Junipers. I hope we don't have to discard the Iris. I really feel like that's my best chance for taking a surprise knockout at some point. My damage is so limited. This is so pathetic. So we'll have to see what my opponent does this turn. Looks like we got another Cutting Wind for 70. And alright, we did get Rare Candy Garchomp. Right on, man. Okay. So now that happened. And I wish I could just retreat and Jet Headbutt, but the stupid Eviolite is there. So I'm going to have to Sand Tomb again. And knock out the Sigilyph. We've taken 2 prizes, guys. Oh, man. We're almost at 3. I think we can get there. I think we can take number 3. Get another Gabite out of the prizes. Not exactly what we're looking for. Alright, so we're probably getting tool dropped for about 300 damage this turn. That's fine. That Garchomp only has 30 HP left to begin with. A Rescue Scarf goes on to the Trubbish. And an EXP share goes down on the Sigilyph. Yeah, there's a lot of EXP shares out there. Just too many. If I played 1 more Tool Scrapper, maybe I would have had a chance, but there's no reason to play 2 Tool Scrapper in this deck, I don't think. The only abilities I have are Dragon Call and Bench Barrier. So, whatever. And this is Fake Archetype Friday. I'm not too choked up about it. But we do get tool dropped for a mighty amount there. But I can Sand Tomb for the knockout. We can use the benched one and save our full HP one. Seems like the best bet I have here. Unfortunately, I will have to Juniper this turn, because I need to end my opponent to 1 next turn. So there's 3N in the discard pile. I need to draw my last one to disrupt my opponent. So, sorry, Iris, you gotta go. I really wish I played more than 1. Iris might have given me a shot this game. I don't know. We'll see. So there's the N. We did get it. Throw another Swablu down. We'll Super Rod in a Garchomp line. Gible, Gabite, Garchomp. Throw those back in the deck. We can get another Gible out, I guess. I don't know if this will be relevant at all, but yeah, that's my deck. We'll get that out. And we should attack with the heavily damaged Garchomp, I guess. Doesn't really matter at this point. Well, it actually does matter. Because if I get Tool Dropped and that fresh Garchomp gets knocked out, then all my opponent has to do is attack with Sigilyph and I lose. So we need to not have that happen. So we have to attack with the damaged Garchomp this turn. Makes sense. Hey, we took 3 prizes. We did it. All right. Sweet. You got an EXP share coming back to the hand. More tools being reversed. And this is actually interesting how this is going to play out. I think that mistake earlier, sacrificing an Altaria, it might have actually cost me the game. I might actually be 1 turn short of winning now. Oh, that's silly. I should never be close to winning with this deck. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. If my opponent does attack with Trubbish here, there's a chance I could win. Because I'm going to end to 1. And hopefully my opponent just doesn't draw energy. And I'll start Sand Tuning away. But the Sigilyph does come out. And here's where I wish I had an Iris. Or a random Hypnotoxic Laser. Okay, make that an Iris. As we get hit by a Cutting Wind for 70 damage. And alright, we're going to have to do our Sand Tuning once again. I'm going to attach to the benched Gible. My Garchomp now has 5 energy just in case. And we're going to end my opponent down to 1. We do get Rare Candy Garchomp. Alright. And we can go with another Sand Tomb here for 80 damage. Sigilyph is locked in place. But again, I don't see myself oh, and they got a Sigilyph down too. I was hoping I could knock the tools out of play. But now they can just pick up all the tools and move them to the bench Sigilyph. But didn't even bother doing that. Alright, cool. Now we can retreat to other Garchomp. And, well, this attachment doesn't really even matter. Jet Headbutt for the knockout. Well, not just enough, but it is enough to get a knockout there. And we're down to 2 prizes. What? We took that many prizes with Sand Tomb and Jet Headbutt? We're going to get Tool Dropped, but it's not nearly enough. It's 100. Unfortunately, though, the EXP share is on the bench Trubbish. But, oh man, if I didn't make that mistake earlier, I actually could have won? What is going on here? We get Tool Dropped. Actually, no, I wouldn't have even had energy to use the last Sand Tomb. I would have been an energy short still. But this is going to be it. We put up a valiant effort, valiant fight, but in the end, Sand Tomb is just so bad. And Theme Deck Garchomp just not cutting it here on Fake Archetype Friday. I gotta say though, we did a lot better than I thought. It was painful, but we took 5 prizes. And nobody can take that away from us. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have some more suggestions for me for next week's edition of Fake Archetype Friday, leave them down in the comments, and I'll build something fun for next week. I'm going to try to do more, like, past archetypes, like I did the Dialga Garchomp one. We'll try to do another one of those for next week. But leave me some suggestions for sure. Again, hope you enjoyed. I will definitely have some more videos for you guys soon. I am Puka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.